Okay, I thought I would do my predictions for top 10 questions that I think might be in the QCAA external exam for general maths this year. So shout out to my 12 GMB class who are currently studying for their external exam. So number one, I don't think any surprises. I'm pretty obvious about this one. I think Hungarian algorithm will be there. Looking back at past papers, it's commonly in them, and it's I think definite. I think you'll definitely see a Hungarian algorithm question of some sort in there. Number two is a reducing balance loan question. I think that one's a pretty much given. You're going to see some form of that. I would say probably a finding R question because that's common in past papers, or possibly a comparing two loans type scenario. Number three, I think you're going to see some form of a recurrence relation, either with an arithmetic or a geometric progression or some kind of finance one where you are using that on your calculator where you're storing the number and then putting in that relation and pressing enter to get the third term, fourth term, etc. So I think that one's going to be there. Number four, finding equation of a line on a calculator. So by putting into your calculator and pressing the data, and putting things in both in the L1 and L2 column to then come up with an equation of line, doing your second data, two variables, and enter, 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 and coming up where you can scroll down and get the A and B values from that. So I think that one is probably going to be there. Number five is a minimum spanning tree type question. They're pretty common, and I think that will be there in some kind of form. I think there'll definitely be a time zones question. So something to do with finding the time difference or time zones, calculating difference between the times in two different places. In the same kind of topic, there'll also be some kind of distance on a line of longitude or latitude. So either telling you two places that are on a great circle and using your rule for that, or giving you the one on a parallel latitude and having to work out the distance on that because you have your two different formulas and doing that. So I think that's, probably going to be there. I also think there will be some kind of project network. So whether looking at forward scanning, backward scanning, filling in the numbers, or I've seen the ones where they've given you the network and you're answering from the network, I think that you'll definitely see something like that in one of the papers. And one not as obvious, I think, and I kind of like this kind of question, the residual plot ones, where you're looking at the residuals, and if there's no trend in the residual plot, then it's linear, or if there is a trend, then it's not linear. That kind of question, I think, is a nice little one that they might throw in a multi-choice question. So I'm predicting there'll be something about the residual plot. And my number 10 one that I think will be there is either a time series plot or a scatter plot. And so remembering time series plot, you are joining the dots, scatter plot, you are not. So knowing the difference between those two, and either drawing them or interpreting one that's given. So looking for a trend, looking for if there's correlation, if it's strong, moderate, or weak, if it's a positive or negative trend, if it's a linear, that kind of thing. So they're my top 10 that I think will be in the external exam 2023. So I look forward to seeing what there is once that exam is completed and teachers get to see those papers, and see how many of my predictions made it in there. All the best with your studying, and hope it all goes well.